Welcome back. Shelby Volo joining us from Abbott Wealth Management on this Wednesday. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are talking today about student savings programs for students that have just graduated, essentially.
Yep, or nearing graduation as well. It's kind of nice because when you do apply for disability insurance, they do need to see a proof of income. But if you've been a student for the past 4 years, you're not really going to have any income to show.
Yeah.
So with this student savings program, you can actually qualify for it right away, and they'll give you a set limit that they'll let you qualify for, even though you have no proof of income. And then one particular company will pay your first 5 months premiums, which is pretty sweet, and they give you a permanent 15% reduction in premium for the life of your policy.
That's great.
Yeah, so a lot of added perks, because some people might be like, oh, why don't I just wait 2 years and buy it when I'm making more money? Well, now's the time when you're going to get a lot of incentives to put that in place. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some slides starting off, of course, with this. We're going to learn a little bit more about who it applies to, and we'll go into the second one here. How does it all work? What are the perks, first of all?
So these are the ones I kind of just highlighted. It's coverage that can grow with you throughout your career as well. So at certain anniversary dates, you can exercise additional amounts of coverage at no proof of insurability, and you just pay a slightly higher premium when you keep adding coverage on as you go, because obviously if you qualify for $1,500 a month in income, you're probably making more than that. So it can grow with you. So that's a nice perk as well. It's also good to have this kind of protection in place, because a lot of these people doing 4-year professional degrees are going to have a student loan. So having disability insurance in place to protect that is huge, because who's going to make that loan repayment if you are disabled and you don't have any coverage?
That's right.
So it's definitely something to think about. And our next slide here, so what occupations qualify? So it's kind of highlighted there: accountants, architects, lawyers, nurses, doctors, electricians, plumbers. So anyone who's done some kind of a 4-year professional degree can qualify under here. And each different occupation is going to be pre-approved for a certain coverage amount. So for nurses, for instance, they're pre-approved for $1,500 a month in benefits. But it is going to be different for each one.
Sure.
And then if we move on to our next slide here, everyone thinks it won't happen to me. And that is a really big thing, is that everyone thinks they're invincible. And unfortunately, that's not the case. And this kind of gives you an idea of who's claiming and what their age is. So under 40, you can see 11% of people are claiming under individual disability plans. When you think about going on disability, you think, I'm not going to do that till I'm in my 50s or 60s potentially. But actually a lot of people are claiming in their 40s, and they were saying 1 in 9 are claiming in private plans under the age of 40, and 1 in 4 under group plans are claiming under the age of 40.
Wow.
Which is pretty surprising.
So as we look at this graph, I just want to stay on this for a minute. 50 to 59, 42%. 40 to 49, 21%.
Yeah.
Those are
pretty big numbers.
Yes.
And I kind of got some interesting statistics as well.
Okay, should we go to the next screen?
We can. We don't have to yet if you want to stick around on that one. But what percentage of Canadians do you think feel they'll get a disability?
That they could actually fall victim to a disability?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 16%.
So only 7% think that they might run into having a disability.
That's crazy.
It's a very low figure, and it's very unrealistic, because actually 1 in 7 Canadians are currently on disability right now.
1 in 7?
Yeah, 1 in 7. And actually 1 in 3 people will experience a disability that lasts longer than 90 days. So to say that you think you have a 7% chance is pretty crazy, because your chances are way higher.
Yes.
And what do you think your definition of, if you had to go and claim on disability, what do you think would constitute a disability?
Mental health, physical health, accident, cancer. Okay, that's about it. What else?
Well, you nailed it. So 72% actually thought just an accident was considered disability.
Okay.
But yeah, mental illness, depression, anxiety, even diabetes actually can be considered one. And only 10% are actually the result of an accident happening. So the rest are actually making up the other claims, which are all, body issues.
Yes.
If we go to our next slide here, we kind of talked a bit about the occupations. So, disabilities don't distinguish between age, your gender, or your occupation. This shows a listing of a whole bunch of different kinds of occupations. I like to look at all of them, but I like to focus on the biggest claims.
Okay.
If you look at the financial trader at the bottom, 44 years old and got that illness and was paid out so far just over $1.2 million.
Wow.
So can you imagine claiming at 44 for a disability and not getting that $1.2 million?
Yeah.
So you are insuring your future, and you know, this is going to help that person fund their retirement as well, because they don't have the chance to save for it anymore.
And at 44, your kids are likely not grown up and gone. You're also funding to keep your kids afloat, right?
Absolutely.
Like, that's huge.
Especially with 44 in this generation, they're more of a sandwich as well. So they might actually be trying to help their parent and raise their kid.
Good to have that coverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the last slide just says, is it worth it? So if you look at all the pros and the cons, what are the cons? Well, that you have to pay for it. And it's not that unrealistic per month. Like I said, there's all those benefits that make it a little bit cheaper, especially for new grads. So there's really no reason not to at least put a little coverage on yourself and make sure your student loans are covered at a minimum.
Yes, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Student loans for sure.
Definitely.
So lots of food for thought here, Shelby. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for bringing this topic in. Very timely. Lots of graduating taking place actually in about a month and a half anyway. So yeah. Information on the screen if you'd like to learn more at abbottwealth.com, as well as the email and the phone number 372-3736. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.